Kofi and his friends gasped in amazement. The glade was breathtaking. They felt the energy of the place pulsing like a heartbeat. "It's so beautiful," Amina exclaimed, twirling in delight. Suddenly, Lila pointed to a small, sparkling pond in the center of the glade. "This pond has healing waters. If you ever feel lost or scared, come here, and it will guide you." Kofi knelt by the pond looking at his reflection. "Thank you for showing us this place," he said, feeling grateful. "We promise to protect it." Lila smiled brightly. "I believe in you. Together, you can keep the magic alive." After spending time in the glade, Kofi and his friends felt invigorated. "What should we do next?" Kofi asked, looking at Lila. She thought for a moment, then said, "Let's visit the elder oak. It holds ancient wisdom and can teach you more about the forest." Excited, the group followed Lila as she led them to the elder oak, a massive tree with branches that seemed to touch the sky. When they reached it, Kofi felt a deep sense of respect. "This tree is incredible," he whispered. Lila floated up to the branches, and the tree's bark began to glow. "Elder oak, we seek your wisdom," she called out. The tree rustled its leaves, and a deep, gentle voice echoed from within. "Welcome, the young guardians. You have shown great courage. What do you wish to learn?" Kofi stepped forward, feeling a mixture of nervousness and excitement. "We want to know how to protect the forest and help it grow stronger," he said sincerely. The elder oak paused, its leaves whispering in the wind. "To protect the forest, you must understand its balance. Every creature, every plant, plays a part in this harmony." The children listened intently as the elder oak shared stories of the forest's history, teaching them about the delicate balance between nature and the creatures that inhabit it. Kofi felt inspired and filled with a sense of responsibility. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow through the leaves, the elder oak gave them a final piece of advice. "Remember, the strongest magic comes from your hearts. Use kindness, bravery, and friendship to nurture the forest." With their hearts full of new knowledge, Kofi and his friends thanked the elder oak and Lila. They made their way back to the village, excited to share what they had learned. That night, Kofi couldn't sleep. He lay in bed, thinking about the forest's magic and the responsibility they had taken on. He knew they had only scratched the surface of what the forest held. What if there were more adventures waiting for them? The next day, Kofi gathered his friends again. "Let's organize a festival to celebrate the magic of the forest and share what we've learned," he proposed. Everyone cheered in agreement, eager to spread the joy they had discovered. The children set to work planning the festival. They gathered flowers, decorated the village, and invited everyone to join in. "We'll tell stories, sing songs, and celebrate the bond we share with the forest," Amina suggested, her excitement contagious. As the day of the festival approached, the villagers joined in, eager to participate. Kofi felt proud as he watched everyone come together, united by a love for the forest. When the day finally arrived, the village was alive with laughter and music. Kofi and his friends performed dances, shared stories of their adventures, and even introduced Lila to the villagers. Everyone marveled at the tiny spirit and listened in awe as she spoke about the importance of protecting their home. As night fell, the stars sparkled above, and the villagers lit lanterns, illuminating the area with warm, flickering lights. Kofi looked around, filled with happiness. They had created something beautiful together, honoring the magic of the forest. But as the festival continued, Kofi felt a familiar tug in his heart, a call from the forest. He knew that their journey was far from over. There were still mysteries to uncover and adventures to be had. That night, as he lay in bed, Kofi made a promise to himself. He would continue to explore, to learn, and to protect the magic of the forest. He knew that with his friends by his side, there was no limit to what they could achieve. The next morning, Kofi awoke with a sense of purpose. He gathered Amina and the others. "Let's make a map of the forest. We can mark all the magical places we discover," he suggested, and the children agreed excitedly. Together, they set off, exploring areas they hadn't visited before. They drew paths, marked trees, and discovered hidden nooks filled with wildflowers and singing birds. Each new place felt like a treasure, adding to their collection of magical memories. As they wandered deeper into the forest, they stumbled upon a sparkling waterfall cascading down smooth rocks. "This is beautiful," Amina exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. The children rushed to the water's edge, splashing and laughing in delight. While they played, Kofi noticed something shiny at the bottom of the waterfall pool. "Look! There's something down there," he shouted, pointing. Intrigued, they all leaned over to see. "I'll go check it out," Kofi said, feeling adventurous. He carefully waded into the water, feeling the cool splash against his skin. As he reached the bottom, he picked up a small, golden key. It glimmered in his hand. "What do you think it unlocks?" one of the boys asked, his voice filled with excitement. Kofi shrugged, feeling a rush of curiosity. "Let's find out." With the key in hand, the children began searching for something it might unlock. They explored every nook and cranny of the forest, looking for hidden doors or treasure chests. Kofi's heart raced with anticipation. Eventually, they returned to the ancient tree. "What if it unlocks something here?" Kofi suggested. They gathered around the tree, excitement bubbling. Kofi approached the small door they had found before and inserted the key. With a gentle turn, the door clicked open, and everyone gasped. Inside was a hidden chamber filled with ancient scrolls and glowing artifacts. "What is all this?" Amina whispered in awe. Kofi picked up a scroll, its surface covered in beautiful drawings and writings. "This looks like a history of the forest," he exclaimed. As they read, they learned about the magic that flowed through the trees and the creatures that lived within. The scroll spoke of ancient guardians who had protected the forest for generations. Kofi realized that they were now part of this legacy. "We must continue to protect this magic," he said, the determination shining in his eyes. With the knowledge they had gained, Kofi and his friends felt more connected to the forest than ever. They promised to share what they had learned with the villagers and to continue exploring, always looking for new adventures. As they left the chamber, Kofi couldn't shake off the feeling that the forest still held many secrets. What other treasures would they find? What challenges awaited them? With his heart full of courage, he was ready to face whatever came next. As Kofi and his friends emerged from the ancient tree, their hearts raced with excitement. The scrolls had revealed so much about the forest, but Kofi felt there was still more to uncover. They gathered in a circle, discussing their plans. "What should we do next?" Amina asked, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "We've learned about the guardians. Maybe we can find them." Kofi nodded. "Yes. The scrolls mentioned the Wind Guardian and the Water Guardian. We should search for them." The idea thrilled everyone, and they set off, eager to explore new parts of the forest. Lila flew alongside them, guiding the way. The Wind Guardian is said to live on the highest mountain. We must climb to reach him, she explained. The thought of climbing a mountain made Kofi nervous, but he was determined to see this adventure through. As they journeyed, the path became steeper and rockier. They helped each other over boulders and thick roots, laughing and encouraging one another. "We can do this," Kofi shouted, feeling the camaraderie strengthen their resolve. After hours of climbing, they finally reached the summit. The view took their breath away. Below, the forest stretched out like a vast green ocean. The wind whispered through the trees, and Kofi felt a sense of peace wash over him. "Now we just need to call for the wind guardian," Lila instructed. The children gathered in a circle, holding hands, and shouted together, "Wind guardian, we seek your wisdom." The wind swirled around them, lifting their spirits. Suddenly, a gentle breeze turned into a powerful gust, and from the sky descended a majestic figure, cloaked in flowing white fabric. His hair danced like leaves in the wind. "Welcome, young guardians," the wind guardian said, his voice resonating like thunder. "You have come seeking knowledge. What do you wish to learn?" Kofi stepped forward, feeling both nervous and excited. "We want to know how to protect the forest and maintain its balance," he replied earnestly. The wind guardian nodded. "To protect the forest, you must listen to the whispers of the wind. It carries messages from the trees and creatures. Be aware of changes in nature, for they often signal when help is needed." The children listened closely, soaking in his words. "How can we learn to hear the whispers?" Amina asked. The wind guardian smiled. "Practice patience. Spend time in nature, and you will begin to understand its language." With gratitude in their hearts, Kofi and his friends thanked the wind guardian, promising to heed his advice. As he flew back into the sky, the wind carried with it a sense of hope and inspiration. Feeling empowered, the group made their way down the mountain, excited to share their new knowledge with the village. But as they descended, Kofi noticed the air becoming heavy again, a chill creeping into the atmosphere. "What's happening?" he wondered aloud. Lila looked concerned. "Something doesn't feel right. We should hurry to find the water guardian. She may know what's going on." They rushed through the forest, following Lila's lead. As they approached a beautiful lake, they saw the water guardian standing gracefully by the shore. She was adorned with shimmering blue garments, her hair flowing like waves. "Welcome, young guardians," she greeted them warmly. "I sensed you were coming. The balance of the forest is in danger." Kofi felt a knot form in his stomach. "What's happening?" he asked urgently. The water guardian's expression turned serious. "A great storm is brewing. If we do not act quickly, it could harm the forest and all its creatures." Amina gasped. "What can we do to stop it?" The water guardian smiled gently. "You must gather the elements of the forest, the earth, the wind, and the water. Together, they will create a protective barrier." Kofi felt a rush of determination. "We'll do whatever it takes," he declared. The water guardian nodded. "First, you must collect the essence of the earth. Look for the heartstone beneath the largest tree in the forest. It will give you strength." With a clear goal in mind, the children set off once more, racing through the forest. As they ran, Kofi felt the urgency of their mission. They couldn't let the storm harm their home. When they reached the ancient tree, they searched around its base, digging through the soft earth. After a while, Amina shouted, "I found it." She held up a shimmering stone, pulsating with energy. The heartstone glowed brightly, filling them with hope. "Now we must gather the wind," Lila said, her wings fluttering excitedly. Let's go to the highest point in the forest and call upon the wind guardian again. They climbed to a tall hill and raised the hearthstone to the sky. Wind guardian, we call upon you, Kofi shouted. The wind began to swirl, and soon the guardian appeared, guiding the breeze toward them. Hold the hearthstone high, he instructed. As they did, the wind wrapped around them, lifting their spirits. The essence of the wind will merge with the hearthstone, he said. A gust of wind swept over them, and the stone began to shimmer even brighter. With two elements gathered, the final step was to harness the power of water. The water guardian led them to the lake, where they filled a small vial with the lake's water. This water holds the essence of life. It will complete the barrier, she explained. With all three elements, earth, wind, and water, Kofi and his friends felt a surge of power. They returned to the center of the forest, where the storm was beginning to form. The sky darkened, and the winds picked up speed. Now, let's combine them, Kofi said, holding the hearthstone in one hand and the vial of water in the other. They gathered in a circle, chanting together, their voices harmonizing with the rhythm of nature. As they finished their chant, the brilliant light exploded from the hearthstone, merging with the water and the wind. A protective barrier enveloped the forest, shimmering like a rainbow against the dark clouds. The storm raged outside the barrier, but within, the forest remained calm and vibrant. Kofi and his friends cheered, feeling a sense of accomplishment and unity. They had worked together to protect their home. As the storm passed, the sun began to shine again, illuminating the forest. Kofi looked around, seeing the beauty of the trees and flowers thriving once more. The balance had been restored. The water guardian appeared beside them, pride shining in her eyes. You have done well, young guardians. You've proven that together, you can overcome any challenge. Feeling a surge of joy, Kofi and his friends hugged each other tightly. They had faced danger and emerged victorious, bonded by their love for the forest. From that day on, they became known as the protectors of the forest, always ready to stand against any threats. Kofi knew their adventures were far from over. Each day brought new mysteries, and he couldn't wait to explore them all. As they walked back to the village, laughter and joy filled the air. Kofi felt grateful for his friends and the magic of the forest that surrounded them. They had created a new chapter in their lives, one filled with adventure, friendship, and the promise of more to come. That night, as Kofi lay in bed, he felt the heartbeat of the forest echoing within him. He closed his eyes, dreaming of the wonders yet to be discovered. He knew the journey had just begun, and together with his friends, that they would continue to unlock the magic of their world. As the days turned into weeks, Kofi and his friends embraced their new roles as protectors of the forest. They spent their mornings exploring, learning about the plants and animals, and their afternoons sharing stories and experiences with the villagers. The bond between them grew stronger with each adventure. One sunny morning, while playing near the lake, Amina suggested, "Let's organize a treasure hunt. We can invite everyone from the village to join us." The idea excited everyone. They could combine fun with learning about the forest's magic. They set to work, planning the treasure hunt carefully. Kofi remembered the scrolls they had found in the ancient tree. "Let's create clues based on the scrolls and hidden spots in the forest," he proposed. The friends cheered, eager to start. They split up to gather materials and prepare clues. As Kofi wandered deeper into the forest, he felt a sense of peace enveloping him. The leaves rustled gently above, and the sound of birds singing filled the air. Suddenly, he heard a faint cry coming from nearby. Curious, Kofi followed the sound and discovered a small, injured bird lying on the ground. Its wing was bent awkwardly. "Oh no, poor thing," he exclaimed. He gently scooped it into his hands. The little bird chirped softly, looking up at him with big, frightened eyes. "I need to help you," Kofi said, feeling a rush of determination. He quickly made his way back to his friends. "I found an injured bird. We need to care for it," he announced. Amina knelt beside him, examining the bird. "We should take it to the water guardian. She knows how to heal animals." The group agreed, and they hurried to the lake, the little bird cradled safely in Kofi's hands. When they arrived, the water guardian greeted them with a concerned expression. "What has happened?" she asked, noticing the bird. Kofi explained everything, and the guardian knelt down, gently taking the bird from his hands. With a soothing touch, she whispered words that seemed to blend with the sounds of the water. The bird began to glow softly, and they watched in awe as its wings straightened and healed before their eyes. "Thank you for bringing this creature to me," the water guardian said, smiling. Kofi felt a surge of relief as the bird chirped happily, flapping its wings. "You're going to be okay now," he said, his heart swelling with joy. The water guardian nodded. "You showed kindness and bravery, Kofi. Remember that every creature has its place in the forest." With a joyful flutter, the bird took off into the sky, soaring high above the trees. Kofi watched it disappear into the blue, feeling proud of what they had accomplished. After their visit with the water guardian, the friends returned to their treasure hunt preparations. They scattered clues throughout the forest, marking hidden spots with colorful flags and exciting hints. As they worked, the excitement grew in the village. On the day of the treasure hunt, villagers of all ages gathered, eager to participate. Kofi and his friends explained the rules, their eyes shining with enthusiasm. "You'll find clues that will lead you to the treasure. Remember to work together and explore every corner of the forest." As the hunt began, laughter filled the air. Families raced from clue to clue, uncovering secrets of the forest as they went. Kofi and his friends watched with joy, happy to see everyone working together. During the hunt, they spotted a group of children struggling with one of the clues. Kofi rushed over to help. "What's wrong?" he asked, kneeling beside them. "We can't figure out this riddle," one of the kids said, frustrated. Kofi examined the clue, and a smile spread across his face. "This is about the elder oak. Let's go there." The children cheered, and together they made their way to the grand tree. When they arrived, they found the next clue hidden beneath its roots. "Great job, everyone," Kofi encouraged, feeling the excitement of teamwork. The group continued, each clue revealing more of the forest's beauty and secrets. As the sun began to set, they finally reached the last clue, which led them to a hidden glade filled with vibrant flowers. In the center was a beautiful treasure chest, decorated with intricate carvings of animals and plants. With anticipation, Kofi and his friends opened the chest to reveal colorful stones, each one glowing softly. "These are enchanted stones from the heart of the forest," Lila explained, fluttering around them. "They hold the magic of the forest and can grant small wishes." The villagers gasped in awe as they gathered around, marveling at the treasure. "Thank you, Kofi and friends, for such an amazing adventure," an elder said, beaming with pride. As everyone enjoyed the treasure, Kofi felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The treasure hunt had not only brought joy but also strengthened the community's connection to the forest. Later that night, Kofi gathered with his friends under the stars. "We did something amazing today," he said, looking around at their smiling faces. We brought everyone together and shared the magic of the forest. Amina nodded, her eyes twinkling. And we showed them how to appreciate it. But there's still so much to learn. Kofi agreed, feeling the thrill of new adventures on the horizon. Let's continue exploring and protecting the forest, he declared. There's still magic waiting for us to discover. With hearts full of excitement, the friends made a pact to continue their journey together. They would embrace every challenge, every mystery, and every moment of wonder that lay ahead. As the moon shone brightly above them, Kofi closed his eyes, dreaming of the adventures yet to come. The forest held endless possibilities, and he was ready to uncover each one, side by side with his friends. As the days turned into weeks, Kofi and his friends continued their adventures in the forest, exploring hidden paths and deepening their bond with nature. They learned to listen to the whispers of the wind and to understand the signs of the forest. Each day brought new discoveries, and the magic of the forest felt alive within them. One afternoon, while wandering near the lake, they noticed the water shimmering in unusual colors. "What's happening?" Amina asked, her brow furrowing with concern. Lila, who had been flying nearby, hovered closer. "This is strange. The lake's colors change when something is wrong." Kofi felt a knot in his stomach. "We should investigate. Maybe the water guardian knows what's going on." The group hurried to the lake, and when they arrived, they found the water guardian looking troubled. "The balance is shifting," she explained. "A powerful force is awakening deep within the forest, and it threatens our home. We must work together to protect it." Kofi's heart raced. "What can we do?" he asked urgently. "You must gather the hearts of the forest," she replied. "The heartstones you found before will help you channel the energy we need to confront this force." With determination, Kofi and his friends set off, ready to gather the heartstones from the sacred places they had visited. They first returned to the ancient tree, where they carefully dug out the heartstone they had found before. It pulsed with energy, a reminder of their previous adventures. Next, they ventured to the heart of the forest, where they had seen the radiant glade. As they reached the vibrant flowers, they found another heartstone buried beneath a blossom, glowing with warmth. They took it, feeling its magic course through them. Finally, they made their way to the mountain peak where the wind guardian had spoken to them. Kofi reached into the hidden nook they had discovered and retrieved the third heartstone, its glow matching the others. With the 3 heartstones in hand, the group returned to the lake. The water guardian stood ready, her expression one of fierce determination. "We must combine the energy of these stones and confront the force that threatens our forest," she instructed. The friends formed a circle around the water guardian as she began to chant, her voice weaving through the air like the flowing water. Kofi held the heartstones tightly, feeling their power merge within him. As the chant grew louder, a dark cloud began to gather above the forest, swirling ominously. Kofi could feel the energy of the stones pulsating, urging him to act. Together, he shouted, and his friends joined in, their voices rising in unity. The heartstones glowed brighter, illuminating the area with a dazzling light. The dark cloud writhed as if trying to resist the power of their combined strength. "Focus on the love we have for the forest," Kofi urged. "We can do this." With one final surge of energy, they raised the heartstones high, unleashing a brilliant beam of light toward the dark cloud. The beam struck the cloud, causing it to ripple and shimmer. The dark energy began to dissipate, and the forest sighed in relief. Slowly, the cloud melted away, revealing the bright blue sky above. The forest was bathed in sunlight once more, and the colors seemed to glow even more vibrantly. Kofi and his friends cheered, embracing one another in joy. "You did it," the water guardian exclaimed, her eyes shining with pride. "You have saved the forest." Kofi felt a deep sense of accomplishment wash over him. They had faced challenges together, and their love for the forest had triumphed. "We couldn't have done it without each other," he said, smiling at his friends. As they celebrated, the forest seemed to come alive, creatures emerging to join in the joy. Birds sang, flowers danced in the breeze, and the trees swayed gently, as if thanking the children for their bravery. That evening, they gathered around a fire, sharing stories of their adventures. The villagers joined them, listening intently as Kofi recounted the day's events. "We learned that together, we can overcome anything," he said, looking around at the faces of his friends and the villagers. As the stars twinkled above, Kofi felt a sense of peace settle in his heart. They had created a community bound by their love for the forest, and he knew that as long as they worked together, they could protect its magic. With his friends by his side, Kofi closed his eyes, filled with dreams of new adventures and the promise of the future. The forest held endless possibilities, and he felt grateful to be a part of its story. From that day on, Kofi and his friends continued to explore, protect, and nurture the forest, always ready for the next adventure. They became legends in their village, inspiring others to cherish and safeguard the magic of nature. And so, their journey continued, the beautiful tapestry woven from courage, friendship, and the timeless wonders of the forest. As the stars twinkled above, Kofi felt a sense of peace settle in his heart. They had created a community bound by their love for the forest, and he knew that as long as they worked together, they could protect its magic. With his friends by his side, Kofi closed his eyes, filled with dreams of new adventures and the promise of the future. The forest held endless possibilities, and he felt grateful to be a part of its story. From that day on, Kofi and his friends continued to explore, protect, and nurture the forest, always ready for the next adventure. They became legends in their village, inspiring others to cherish and safeguard the magic of nature. And so, their journey continued, the beautiful tapestry woven from courage, friendship, and the timeless wonders of the forest. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more adventures from Kofi and his friends, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your support and encouragement mean the world to me and help me bring more magical stories to life. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next adventure.